Hi, it's Jessica, and for those high school students who are wondering, how should I use my locker, or what should I put in my locker? Well, I hope this video is going to help you learn more about how to use lockers. So like I explained in the last video, you'll be assigned your own personal locker on the first day of school or the first week of school. Your locker will most likely be very close to your homeroom class, your first class of the day, and that allows it so that when you arrive to school in the morning, you're not rushed to run to your locker or to run to your first class. So a normal wooden locker should look something like this, and a metal one should look something like this. Now, depending on which school you go to, you could have wooden or metal lockers, or you can have a combination of both. So most students use their high school lockers to put school books, put pencils and papers. They could design it, they could put a whiteboard in it to write to-do lists, or they can even put a mirror in there. The design should be different for everyone because it is based on your personal likes and dislikes and how you like to organize things and how you think would make an efficient locker. So I'm just going to give a rundown from the top to the bottom of your locker just to give some personalized tips from me if you choose to use your locker. So most lockers, they should have an individual top shelf, like in this picture over here. They may have one or two, and that's where you should store all your books, your binders, your pencil cases, stuff like that for your classes. What this allows is that it keeps those books away from the bottom of the locker where it could get wet or it could get dirty, and so that keeps it at a good and safe distance from that. And underneath that shelf there should be a couple of hooks, and that's where you can choose to hook your winter jacket in the winter time, your hoodies or your shirts, or even your backpacks if you don't want to carry your backpack all day. And depending on how big your locker is, there's sometimes more room at the bottom even to put some more books or to put your indoor shoes. So at the very bottom of your locker, sometimes it may get a little dirty or dusty down there. So that's why I recommend you put only shoes or boots at the very bottom of your locker. So for example, if during the winter time you're wearing a giant coat or maybe rain boots and stuff, you can choose to bring an extra pair of indoor shoes and switch out your boots, put those in your locker, and then wear your indoor shoes around the school. And that way you don't have to walk around the school in your dirty outside clothes. And also, if you choose not to bring any extra pair of shoes to school, that's also completely okay. I do strongly suggest you buy one of these shelves that you can put at the bottom of your locker. And so if you put the shelf at the bottom of your locker like this sort of creates an elevated space where you can put more books or more binders on top of the shelf, and so that way it's still not touching the bottom of the locker where it can get dirty, but it's like more storage room that you can put stuff. If you're lucky and you happen to have a metal locker, you can also put stuff onto the doors of your locker, such as this. You can put magnets or you can stick on certain things. And so you can choose to put some magnetic things onto the doors or the walls of your locker. So for example, you could choose to have a to-do list like this along with some whiteboard markers, and so you can keep track of everything you have to do for the day or for the week. You can also choose to put a magnetic mirror on your locker just in case you need a mirror throughout the day. And finally, as for designs such as wallpaper or locker accessories, that's completely up to you. Since it is your locker, you do have the choice if you want to design it or make it look nice. However, it shouldn't be the cause of any distractions towards the other lockers that are around your locker, and it shouldn't cause any fire hazards, obviously. So design with caution. But other than that, these lockers are a super fun way to organize all your items for school. So at the beginning of the school day or even in between classes, if you don't feel like holding so many textbooks or so many papers, then you could choose to stop by your locker and just switch out to the notes that you need for your next class. However, before I end this video explaining all the amazing things you can do to your school locker, I should warn that you should manage your time efficiently if you do choose to use your locker. And so you have to make sure you're not late to class if you do choose to stop by your locker in between classes. You should also make sure your locker will not be a distraction to you if you choose to decorate it. But other than that, you can count on lockers being a super fun element of high school that you can look forward to.